Okay, welcome to the Conquer Food podcast, where in this episode we will catch up with Sarika and Unaiza. Welcome back to the podcast, guys.
Hello.
Thank you.
Right, so we'll dive straight in then. So, as promised, we said that we'd catch up with you guys towards the end of your journey, or the end of your journey. And for Unaiza, you are leaving today.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow, even.
Well,
Today's been your last day. And Sarika, you are coming towards the end. You've got another 3 weeks to go?
2 weeks to go.
Two more weeks. Okay. Right, so let's dive in. How's it been, Unaiza? What would you say about your journey?
It's been great. I mean, I'm a lot fitter. I'm a lot healthier. Yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And has it been what you expected? Harder?
I mean, essentially, after you're here, you push yourself and you want to make it harder for yourself. And it's kind of like, for me, for my personality, I feel like, yes, let's make it harder. Let's try the next thing, you know? So that is what that kept me going, really. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how have you found it so far, Sarika?
Well, it turned a big leaf for me. And this has been an awe-inspiring experience so far.
Yeah. Would you say it's been life-changing for you?
Life-changing.
Yeah.
Life-altering, definitely.
Right. And has it been more challenging than you expected it to be? Have you found out things about yourself that you didn't know?
Well, challenging initially, but then you dial into it and you realize that there are things that you thought you wouldn't be able to do, but then you're able to do it.
Yeah.
So it's inspiring and at the same time shocking.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can actually do, isn't it? It's surprising.
It is quite surprising.
Yeah. So I'm sure that the people that watched your first episode can already see a massive difference in you two.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I really hope so. I worked really hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's very striking, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how much weight have you lost, Unaiza, so far?
32 kilos. I don't know what is that in pounds. I'm sorry.
Times it by 2.2. I'm crap at maths.
I'm really bad at maths. I think it's in 70 something pounds.
It's got to be over that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing. What major differences have you noticed in yourself in the weight loss?
It's just that move. I know it might sound weird, but just moving.
Yeah.
You know, before, like I said, I don't remember what I said in the first podcast, but before I used to, like, in my kitchen, I used to move around with a chair, like everywhere. I was sitting down, dragging my chair everywhere. Yeah. And from there, right now, I'm able to do hill sprints. You know, like I just went in for the hill sprint, one go, zoom.
I know, unbelievable.
Or climb a hill.
Yeah. And then walk.
I know.
I'm able to walk properly, you know?
Unbelievable. And some of the stuff you can do in training as well. I mean, again, in this podcast, I'll edit in some videos of you training, some boxing.
Yeah.
And then we'll show some pictures of you at the top of mountains, you know.
Yeah.
You're doing stuff that you couldn't have imagined doing when you arrived. Well, you wouldn't have been able to, would you? You know, let's be honest.
I wouldn't be fit. I wouldn't have been able to physically do it. But then that's the thing. I was able to do it now. I'm like, yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think the big challenges are going to be for you now you're leaving?
I know. For me, I enjoy strength training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. But my biggest challenge would be now is to how I can incorporate the cardio in it. Like, not just normal cardio, the one where we go, you know, like really
like the HIIT training.
The HIIT training and really work. What do you call it? Greg said about EPOC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That level of, like, you know, when you really need to breathe hard after a workout, I actually enjoy that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I love the workouts where all you can think about is breathing.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's nothing else on your mind, is there? And it's
especially when we're doing like slit pushes or climbing the stairs of the bridge now, then where my heartbeat reached around 196.
Wow.
So that's the kind of workout definitely we
Yeah.
are looking forward for once
Yeah.
we leave this place, because I think that will help us not only continue with our journey with weight loss, but also keep us fit.
Yeah, definitely. What can you see yourself doing, Sarika, when you leave? What things will you
So-
maintain?
Definitely strength and conditioning, because strength and conditioning, I wasn't able to do that before. And now I'm happy that I'm doing 60 kilos box squats. And so I want to continue doing that.
Yeah.
Boxing is another thing which I really enjoy. And you get to burn a lot of calories once you complete the session. So boxing and apart from that, spinning. I enjoy spinning.
Yeah.
If I compare my first spinning session to my recent one, I see a big change in the movement, in able to do stuff which I was not able to do before. So spinning is something I would want to continue. And again, like Unaiza said, it is at times difficult to do that cardio stuff. But I also want to incorporate a little bit of cardio in my workouts so that there is a good balance.
Right. So, biggest challenges you faced personally in your time? I'll start with you, Sarika.
I still remember my first walk. We were walking from Top Camp to Wishbone, and I was just not able to finish the walk. And we reached Low Camp, and I said, I can't continue, and then had to take lift back to the Top Camp.
Yeah.
And now when I'm doing Caradoc or Cardamom, so that was one of the biggest challenges that I overcame. And then again, it's like Unaiza said, the movement that you get back in your body gives you a lot of freedom to do stuff. And then the flexibility, which I lost over the time, which I regained after the weight loss. So those are the things that I really now enjoy. And then
it's amazing how fast it happens as well.
Yeah.
If you think just in a 12-week period, you've gone from being unable really to walk any particular distance to walking up mountains,
to do hill sprints or
to having
climb mountains.
No mobility, and suddenly you've got it back. And
exactly,
you know, it's the little wins. You mentioned just things like getting out of cars, going upstairs.
Those things were quite challenging.
Things. Yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it?
Climbing hills or doing hill sprints.
Yeah, it's amazing. What would you say have been the major challenges for yourself?
I think my mind. I think especially with slippery surface, like all that stuff, you know it. I was pretty like,
I know it.
Yeah. You've seen what I've gone through when it comes to that. It's just kind of getting over that and just pushing on and riding out the whole, especially for the walks, just carrying on, you know.
The walks can be some of the most challenging days for some people.
Yeah.
Particularly when they arrive, because you've got to go from A to B. Mm-hmm. There's no shortcuts. That distance has to be covered, and it's slow and methodical, and there's a lot of contact time with the floor. Yeah. And if you've got issues with your knees or your ankles and your back, it kind of finds everything out, doesn't it? So it can be frustrating because, you know, for a lot of people, it is a recovery day. Yeah. When you first come and you are, you know, you're carrying the weight and the injuries, it can be a real drag.
I found it the most beneficial, surprisingly. Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? And rewarding as well.
It's so like, it just helps with your mind as well. Like you feel really great afterwards, and next day it's the hard day, but you feel buzzed for it. Yeah. Like, you know, let's do this.
Amazing.
And you get an amazing sense of achievement once you've done the walk. Once you see, okay, you've done 12 kilometers. Great.
Yeah. It's awesome, isn't it?
An amazing feeling.
And this county rewards you with some beautiful walks as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which not a lot of people realise. It's kind of a hidden gem. We shouldn't really talk about it, really.
Yeah.
But keep it quiet. Yeah. Another big barrier for both of you has been injuries.
Yeah.
Injuries which you came with, which probably would have not really gone away had you not done what you've done. But you have to go through that period of pushing and challenging and then having a little bit of a sparring battle with your body. Because, you know, it's like a double-edged sword, isn't it? You're doing the right thing by losing the weight and training, but sometimes it can flare up your knees.
At times it can, but the one thing I want to say about the injury part is that I'm glad that I'm doing whatever, or I've done whatever I've done here. Otherwise, that injury would have gone worse.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to walk.
Yeah.
So at least I worked on it. And that injury, I kind of feel it has healed because I've put in a lot of strength training into it, or rehab training into it. So we do get a couple of niggles at times, but then it goes away in a day or two.
Yeah. Yeah, standard. Your issues were primarily with your knees, weren't they? You had a diagnosis of what was it?
Patella tendon.
Yeah.
Issue.
Like patella tendonitis, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, you had issues with your knees, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, like I've had previous injury. Like I have an ACL tear and I have a metal plate on my ankle and stuff. So, I mean, I just know where you still have to kind of make sure that you are stopping where you need to stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also what helped me with the training itself is that we were focusing on like the mobility stuff that you were doing. So that really helped with targeting those smaller muscles around the joints and everything. And that made it improve my movements, my range. Yeah. So it essentially, that is what I was, that is what made me fitter than before.
Yeah.
So that's what you expect, right? Yeah.
Well, it takes time. I mean, because we have to lay down these foundations, don't we? And kind of like holding you back really initially. I know it's really easy for you guys to get carried away, and we get a bit excited sometimes, and you might press a little bit too heavy, and then, you can pay the price for it. But it's about, I think you learn a lot about your body and what you can tolerate as well. But we do emphasize quite a lot on the prehab or the rehab, and I think it's super beneficial for you guys, and I'm sure you've already spoke to that.
And also we get regressions, so you're still involved, like if with the group and everybody, and it's just you will give your 100% effort, whether you feel like it or not, like you are giving it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Why are you laughing?
Say, oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
We're going to miss that, aren't we?
Oh yes, we all are going to miss that.
I've already asked Unaiza about how much weight she's lost so far. Do you mind sharing your results thus far, Sarika?
Well, till last week, I've lost around 25 kilos.
Wow.
So definitely more than 50 pounds.
Yeah. And I've got another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So
2 more weeks to go. So I'm hoping I reach my target. But
yeah. What is your overall target again?
So I wanted to at least lose 30 kilos. So let's
we're close.
do that. Yeah.
We're close. Have you got an overall goal, Unaiza? I think you have spoken to me about it before, where you want to be.
I want to lose another additional 40 kilos.
Yeah.
So I will be coming back.
You're going to come back. When are you coming back?
I don't know yet.
Right.
But I will be coming back because this is something that I've set myself and I want to reach that. And it's good to have a goal and a focus. I feel like when you see that number, when you can hit that number, it's going to be a great achievement. I think, for me, personally,
Do you feel like you've got all the tools moving forwards now for when you go home?
Yeah, and I've got a strategy in place. And it's just about Ramadan is coming up, so I'll be using that chance as well. But just having that target of at least, I know that there's going to be, when I go back, there will be a little bit of, because you are not, the portion sizes here are smaller. Yeah. You are, you just have to make certain adjustments to your food. There's going to be a little spike in my weight going up, maybe a pound or two. I know that because I've gone back. Yeah. So I know that that's the reality. But then it's going to get back into, it's going to start dropping again. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
And we always say you don't want to get obsessed with the scales, do you? But you want to use some, or whether you use a tape measure once a week.
Yeah.
Because, the analogy I like to use, you would have heard me use it before, it's better to fight that money spider than it is to fight a Komodo dragon. You're going to have to have that fight. But if it's £2 you've put on, there's no stress. You know, what do we need to do? Pick up the training, dial in with the eating.
Yeah.
Maybe
accountability, basically.
Yeah, accountability and keep a check of your reality.
Yeah.
As
that's very important.
It is, isn't it? Because if you bury your head in the sand, we've been there, haven't we? You've been there.
Always. We've all been there.
Yeah, just
so
keep a
reality check.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Very
yeah,
important.
And that consistency. And we always say, and everyone has heard this multiple times, that you can't out-train a bad diet. But in terms of the training, like we spoke about today, it is a massive tool in changing the mindset.
Yeah.
As it is the best underutilized antidepressant out there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And you hear me say that a lot. How good did we feel today after training? It's the last day of the week. Everyone's absolutely goosed, aren't they? They're like zombies this morning. Then post-session, everyone's energized and you're out of your head and you're feeling great.
I'm feeling happy about what we did.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough day.
Yeah, tough week.
Especially with the
tough week. You put us through a lot.
2 spinning sessions.
I want to see what they put me through this week. Jesus. No, you've been great. I think you've both obviously got a little bit more of a journey to go, but Unaiza, you've been a top camper. I don't know if anyone would say a bad word about her, would they? Has anyone ever said on the QT in the back room of boot camp? Has anyone ever?
She's been
a star, isn't she?
Person, yeah.
Yeah, so nice and bubbling. It's great to see you now as you are, and the difference in you is amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. I still have a long way to go, but I'm taking in the compliments. You know,
You're almost there. Girl. You're almost there.
You've got a plan, a rough plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're ready for home.
Yeah.
But you also want to come back
just
to kickstart and just intensify that loss towards your goal. Yeah. Cool.
Just reach it.
And you obviously you're not far from your goal.
No.
And there's every chance you could hit it.
Yes.
There is. Let's be honest with you.
Yes. Absolutely.
So then, what for you? What's your next goal?
Frankly speaking, initially I was thinking of coming back, but now I think I've got enough tools to lead myself to my final goal. And I initially had like few kilos planned to lose, but now I just want to stay fitter, be more accountable for myself, and just don't want to be at the place where I was before I came here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
When you do leave, do you feel like the support you'll get from the campers you've met will be important to you? Because obviously you guys bond because
Absolutely.
you suffer together, and I think that brings you close together, and you kind of, probably some of the people here know more about you than people that you've known you for most of your life.
Exactly.
Actually, that is quite true. Yeah.
That's true.
They see everything, don't they? And you can't.
Yeah, we
There's a
work
lot of
out
time.
together, and then
we put a bit of a maybe we put a bit of a show on for people sometimes, and we pretend we're something we're not, but that doesn't last for long here.
No.
And the mask slips, and everyone gets to see all your
and
all your-
somewhere our journeys connect, our stories connect. That has been a massive
And
bonding.
also, we struggle together. We see each other.
Exactly. Going through the grind.
fatigued, Is there a day that goes by when someone doesn't cry? I don't know. We've had someone today go off crying, and they think that it's such a, oh my God, I'm crying, I look like an idiot. And like, we know, because you've been here a while, like,
we've all
no
been
one,
there.
We've all been there.
no
been
one
there.
judges anything. I mean, I don't think there's anything that can happen.
That's the
As a
best
coach.
part about being here. There's no judgment.
No one cares, do they?
Yeah.
There's no time for judgment. No one cares about your background.
No.
We see billionaires, millionaires, and people that have saved a year to come for a week all come together.
Yeah.
But they've all got a shared goal.
Yeah.
And they just get on and work towards it. And, it doesn't matter, does it, when you're at boot camp? You're in the mud doing burpees.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're from.
Exactly.
Or doing hill sprint in rain.
And I think it's that that reveals character. We always say adversity reveals character, and you learn. We learn a lot about you, and you learn a lot about yourselves in those adverse conditions, and they're the things that you remember as well.
Every day we surprise ourselves, frankly speaking.
And you've heard me say it before, like, it amazes me. I respect everyone that comes towards the end and completes what you guys have done. I'm not just saying that. Sometimes I think, how the hell? Because I know what you go through, because I do it myself, but it's in my own time and maybe one session, and you're doing 4.5 hours of intensive phys, and you got injuries, or you're tired, and your diet's changed, and you're on these small plates, and you're here smiling, and it's an amazing achievement. It really is. So hats off to you both.
Thank you.
But before we wrap it up, we'll just touch on, I think that was really powerful when Kate came in and did that chat today.
Yes.
And I think the biggest takeaway from her journey was what she did when she left.
Yeah.
And that's when the real challenge is going to start for you guys, isn't it? I know we've already touched on that, but you've seen what can be done. She's pretty much come back she doesn't need to. She's just come back because she had a couple of weeks, and she's able to train and move and almost show off her new body and her new life, and that's what's waiting for you guys now, So it's over to you, isn't it? Wrap up your bootcamp journey in 3 words.
That's hard. There's loads of words.
Oh, give me whatever comes to mind then.
Tough, rewarding, and positive. Yeah.
Cool. Sarika?
Well, disciplines equals freedom.
Yes. From the master himself, not me, Jocko, my internet dad.
We gotta drop it. We gotta drop that line, don't we? Yeah, but it's true.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is, yes.
Look how much freedom you guys have got now.
Absolutely.
It's right. There's nothing you can't do. What couldn't you do out there now? If you really, you could run a marathon. You could, because you wouldn't have to run it all, would you? You could go up mountains.
Okay,
you could go on adventure holidays.
Yeah.
You could go to spinning classes.
Yeah.
You could go to a strength and conditioning class.
Just start ticking my bucket list now.
Exactly. Sorry. Was that it? Discipline equals freedom.
Equals freedom.
I'll take that. I like it.
One more word is left.
Yeah. Equals, it doesn't count. Discipline, freedom.
Yeah.
One more.
One more.
I said this before, but this resonates with me strongly. Just abstract realization of the fact that you can do it.
Yeah. Right. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Sarika and Unaiza, thank you very much for doing the podcast. You've been legends. All right. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.